Hello, everyone. I don't know what that is. End stream? No idea. Okay, hi. I got lost there for a minute. Are you guys lost? Have you ever been lost? What does it mean to be lost? Um, and you know what? And it's okay to be lost. We all go through changes in our lives. We all go through, trauma. We all go through like a loss. It could be a loss of a loved one, a divorce, a change of um, um, a job or a career, right? So, and it's okay to be lost, right? So, and I've been that way. I had a job that I loved, but it wasn't fulfilling enough, right? Um, and I knew I wanted more, but I didn't know where to go, what to get it, where to get it, and I didn't know what I wanted in life. Have you guys ever felt that way? Yeah. um, yeah. So, and I didn't know what to do. Had no idea. Um, Even though I was healed, I was healing myself from trauma, from abuse, and from all that stuff, right? That we all go through. But I just didn't know. Funny we get lost today. Yeah, exactly. We all have. And the reason why I'm talking about it today is because I was talking to a friend of mine, and he goes, I know you only have women in your group, so I didn't know if you actually helped men. And I'm like, the group, my group is all about women because it's a safe space for women, right? And I said, but I'll help anybody. Anybody who needs help, I will help them. And I said, why? What's going on? He goes, well, I have a job that I love. I'm very good at it. And he says, but I don't know. He says, I'm just tired. He says, I have no ambition. He says he has no, lots of stress, and it was affecting his body, right? And if anybody knows me, right, when you're talking to me and I tune into you, I can feel everything that's going on inside of your body, right? So he's talking away to me and talking away and starting to gag. I was like, oh my god! And here I am gagging and gagging. So if any of you guys have been talking to me while I do the lift method, you guys all know this, all right? Yeah. So here I am gagging and gagging, and I'm like, oh my. He goes, "Are you all right?" And I said, "It's not me. This is you." And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he's never ever seen me this way, right? So he's like, "Why? What do you mean?" I was like, "You're nauseous, aren't you?" I said, "Your stomach feels like shit." I said, "What in the world is going on in there?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do feel nauseous. How do you know?" I said, "Because I can feel it, and you're making me gag, right?" And yeah, he's feeling burned out too. Exactly, right? And he had all this pressure, all these responsibilities on him, and he's just wasn't looking after himself, right? And he goes, the only thing that really helps me is going back to my camp by myself in the woods. And I was like, yeah. I said, you felt lost. You lost yourself, didn't you? And he kind of goes back and he goes, yeah, yeah, I have. He says, I don't even know who I am anymore. Right? And I was like, yeah. I said, we've all gone through that. We all go through that. Right? But the fun part is trying to find yourself, right? Um, the universe gives us these things to live through, to go through, because they're not any use of for us anymore, right? It's like your high school outfit, your clothes, right? When you're in your 50s, that high school outfit is no use for you anymore, right? So things kind of fall away. And this is when you try to find yourself, right? And when I looked at him, I'm like, oh my God, your mind is going pew, 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 right? It was just like fireworks in his brain, right? His thoughts were just flying out and it was just swirling around. And I'm telling him this, and he's like, yeah, how do you know? And I said, because I can feel it. I said, I can feel it. What's going on in there, right? And he goes, well, how can I get back on track? How can I find myself again? And I said, well, I can help you. I said, I've helped a lot of women get back on track. I've helped a lot of women focus on what they're meant to be, right? Because we all try to get into our own society, right? We're trying to be the mom, the wife, the coworker, the taxi driver, the nurse, the daughter, the granddaughter, right? The daughter-in-laws, right? So we're trying to fit into everybody else's expectations, but we lose ourselves in the meantime. Has anyone ever felt that way? Yeah. Yeah. I was feeling this way one time, and I know I probably told you guys, but I had when I was working at my old job, I was driving towards my first client, my first home care client, and I was driving a great big red truck at the time, a half-ton truck. And this thing, you could see it a mile away. I mean, there's no way you could not see my truck. It was bright red, right? And there was an 18-wheeler coming towards me, you know. And before that, I was like, I really don't care if I live or die. I don't know what I want out of life. I don't know why I'm here. And I just knew I had to change. I knew that I lost myself and I didn't know where to find it. So I was like, I gave up. I actually gave up, right? So I was driving to my first client, and this 18-wheeler is coming towards me, and he's in the middle of the road. Now, we have narrow, winding country roads here, right? And so there's no room to wiggle around. So I was thinking, he's not moving over. And I said, I can't get around him because there's guardrails there. I said, what am I going to do? And I said, well, maybe he'll move over if he sees me. Well, he never saw me. He was still in the middle of that road. And I was like, well, if I'm going to meet my maker, today's the day. And I pressed down on the gas. And I don't remember anything else. Nothing else. I don't know if my angels, my guides, my spirit team, whoever is up there looking after me, I don't remember anything after I pressed the gas until I looked on the side of my driver's side mirror and the truck was behind me and it was still in the middle of the road. So I was like, okay, I'm still here for a reason, right? Now I have to find myself, right? And, it's okay to lose yourself because you're able to recreate who you want to be, right? Are you guys ready for that? Are you ready to recreate your own reality? Recreate your own persona, your own you, the person that you want to be, right? We all do that. And being able to find out what we're good at. I know I had a woman, I don't know if she'll be coming on here or not, but she was like wanting to get into her spirituality, and she's like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. She goes, I don't feel comfortable. I was like, well, this is what you're meant to do. I said, you're going to help a lot of people, right? And, she has been doing vendor shows. Mind, Body, Spirit shows. She's been selling, she has her own little shop and she does workshops, right? So she's amazing at what she does, but she just needed that little nudge, right, to get her to where she needed to be, right? Because she was lost. She didn't know which way to go. And so if you guys are feeling this way and like, there's something out there but I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get there. And I don't even know what I want to be or who I want to be. Give me a call. Okay. And in 10 minutes time, I can tell you exactly which way to go and how to get there. Okay. So put hashtag call in the comments and give me a call. Okay. We'll get you back on track. So feeling lost. We have all these transitions, we have motherhood, my daughter is a new mom. My little grandson now is 6 weeks old. So, that's a huge transition, right? Our relationships, they shift, right? My husband and I, when we were first married, he worked, I worked, and then he became disabled. So I went from wife to caregiver, right? It's quite a transition that you can get lost in, right? So you have all these extra feelings of uncertainty and loss of direction. So you don't know which way to go. And this is when your mind keeps flying off into different directions, right? And this is when your anxiety starts kicking in, right? Because your anxiety is not knowing what's going to happen. You're like, oh, well, what if this happens? Or what if it doesn't happen? Right? So this is where your anxiety comes in. Okay. But once you get on that path to where you need to be, your anxiety will calm down. Okay. So it's okay to be lost because it's amazing to be able to find yourself too. Right. Let's see, I've got my notes here. Hold on. People who are lost, they go to therapists, they go to traditional therapies, and that's fine. That's great. But some people sometimes they go above that. They go beyond that, They are looking at their higher self, their higher purpose, right? Just like when I had that run-in with that 18-wheeler, right? I had to connect with my higher self to be able to be who I am today, right? Like, I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. Oh, and I've had people tell me that all the time, right? And I'm like, thank you. And was it easy? Hell no, right? I had to get rid of my old self. I had to get rid of all that trauma, all of that self-worth that I didn't have, right? All of that doubt that I had, right? I had to get rid of all that. People get into their spiritual growth, right? Being able to connect with your spirit guides and your angels. Do some soul searching, right? Have you guys ever done that? Yeah, done some soul searching. And sometimes we go through the dark night of the soul. Do you guys know what that is? If you do, put in the comments if you know what the dark night of the soul is, or even if you have been through that. Okay, let me know in the comments. Okay. So sometimes there's energetic imbalance that kind of get you lost, right? And blockages in your energy. Right? So if you feel that way, give me a call. Okay, I can help you out with that. So these are some things that people do to to find themselves again, right? And why we get lost, right? Some people, they have that confusion. They're confused of where they want to go or what they want to do, right? They feel disconnected from the world. Nothing inspires you anymore. You just lose all your passion, all your interests. You have that anxiety and depression coming in because things aren't going the way you want them to, and you're really unsure of your future. Seeking validation from other people. It's like, is it okay if I do this? You know, if I went to my parents and say, Mom, I'm going to be a spiritual healer. What do you think of that? Do you know what my mother would tell me? She'd say, you are crazy. She said, I don't know what that is, but don't be doing that. Right. Like when I was doing my bodybuilding, I was training to do my competition, my bodybuilding competition. Right. Did I seek validation? No, because you know why? I would have so many naysayers out there. Right. I would have people telling me, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. My mother was one of them. Right. Now she's fine. Now she's like, oh, well, Angie's Angie and she's going to do whatever she wants to do. Right. But before, when I was working out and I was losing weight and I was getting fit and I was building my muscles up so I can get into this competition, right? People were like, oh, don't bulk up like that. You're going to look like a man. Or, oh, why do you want to show off your muscles like that? Muscles aren't good for women, but women need to be strong. Women are stronger than most humans, right? Most men. Like, we have to be physically strong. We have to be mentally strong. We have to be emotionally strong, right? So, and the way to do that is to build your body, to make it stronger and healthier, okay? Sometimes it get difficult to making decisions, right? It's like, no, I don't want to do that. Or, what do you want for supper? It's like, oh, I don't know. Do I want this or do I want that? Right? Do you guys go through that too sometimes? Yeah. You're always comparing yourself with other people. It's like, oh man, I wish I had that car. She must be awesome. I wish I had that. Right? Yeah. So that's the feelings of being lost too, right? Not being able to have the things that you want in your life. Always comparing, like, well, how come she has that and I don't? Right? The physical symptoms. It's just not your energy. It's the physical stuff too of being lost. You're extremely exhausted all the time. Okay. Now let me know which of these that you guys have. Okay. Change in appetite. And it's just not what you eat. It's what you eat too, and not how much. You might not eat as much. You don't feel good. Or you overeat, right? Or you're just eating crap like junk food, things that aren't healthy, right? Once in a while is okay, but if you're constantly doing that, like eating at McDonald's or a fast food place every day, that's not good either, right? So, there's changes in your sleep patterns, right? May have insomnia, right? Not be able to sleep, or you sleep too much. Right? And then sometimes people have unexplained aches and pains, right? It's just like your joints hurt, or your muscles hurt, or you have a headache for no reason. So do you guys have any of these symptoms too? Yeah, they're not fun, are they? No. But if we don't clue into what the universe wants us to do, it's going to keep piling on all of this stuff until we make that change. Okay. Okay. So you guys get me? You still here? So some of the things that you can do to get back on track, right? There are 5 things that you can do. Okay. So sit back and reflect on you. And do a self-assessment, like, what are your values, your passions, your goals? Doesn't matter how big, how wild, and how crazy they are, right? Get a piece of paper and write those down. Okay. Now you don't have to put them in here, but write them down. And if you need help, you don't know where you want to go or what you want to do, give me a call. Okay, and I can help you with that too. Okay. Because I have done that. When I've lost myself. I was totally numb to the world. I couldn't even feel anything. I couldn't cry. I couldn't scream, I'd be over walking around the lighthouse trying to scream to release these emotions, and it would just go as a squeak. I could not scream, right? So, and that's not good. That's not good when you're shutting yourself down like that, right? And that's what we do when we're lost, right? We shut everything down. Our whole body shuts down. Not just our minds, but our whole body does, right? And we kind of go into ourselves, right? We don't want to be in the outside world anymore, right? So so reflect on what you want in your life, okay? What are the passions? What are some hobbies that you want to do? Okay. Set little tiny goals. Okay. Just little tiny steps, right? If you want to go back to school to be a doctor, for instance, right? So, I mean, I can't go say, okay, I'm a doctor. No, because there's all these steps that I have to take to get there. Okay. So when you have this big, huge goal that you want to do, right? Write out the little steps that you have to get there. Right? Like when I wanted to, after my run in with a 18-wheeler, and then I blew my knee out, I'm very stubborn. So the universe has its way of saying, Ange, come on, what more can we do to get you to change, right? So I knew there was something more that I had to do. And, but I always wanted to be able to help people. I wanted to be able to heal people. I wanted to be able to help them in all areas of their life, right? In their businesses, their money, their relationships, their health, their mental health, their spiritual health. Okay. But I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know what to do. So I started looking and researching. And then I found an amazing coach where she showed me the steps to get there. Okay. Because I was lost in where I wanted to go. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to get there. So I got lost and got sidetracked. Right. So if you need that step-by-step process to figure out where you want to go, give me a call. Okay. So there's also explore these new opportunities. Like if something comes up, one of my clients that she's told me yesterday, she messaged me and she says she has her own podcast and she is number two ranking in podcasts of all podcasts. Never thought in a million years she would ever be that way, she said, but she's number 2 in the ranks of podcasts, which is amazing, right? And she's also doing she's also speaking, right? Which she never ever thought she would do, right? But all these opportunities are coming her way, right? And she's grabbing them hand over fist because the more opportunities that come, it's more growth, right? So grab a hold of those opportunities. If anything comes up, grab a hold of it. Okay. So that's, and even if it doesn't work, it's okay, right? It's all about self-discovery. It's like, okay, if I want to do this, I'm going to try this. And it's like, no, that's not for me, right? When I left my old job to work at the store, I was like, this isn't for me, right? I like the job. I enjoyed being there, working there, but it wasn't what I wanted to do in my life, right? So, So also seek support and guidance, right? So sometimes, you can reach out to friends and family members and professionals, right? And for guidance. But if there's more to it than that, if you're not finding the right ones, like if you say, people are like, no, don't do that. Or no, that's crazy. Or why would you want to do that, right? Those aren't your people, okay? Do not give up. Find your support, okay? Find your support group. You can message me anytime. Put in the group. If you're like, I have something going on, I need help. Okay, so just tag me into the group, and a lot of us will help you. Okay, um, being able to practice self compassion and patience. I have an enumerance about of patience, but sometimes my patience run thin, and patience is one of the things that I had to work really, really hard on because I didn't have any, right? I had patience for everything else, but I didn't have patience for myself. And that was reflecting on everything else that was going on in my life. So I had to learn to be patient with myself, right? Because we're all learning, right? So if hope this helped, guys. I know I haven't been here last week. I had some dental surgery that needed to be done, but yeah. So here is a few things that you can do to kind of help you focus on getting you on the right path. Okay, so you can meditate. You don't have to just go right? I listen to YouTube meditations on YouTube. I go for walks in nature. Okay, you can do that. Yoga is amazing for focusing on your mind and your body. Okay, Reiki, of course, acupuncture, crystal healing too, right? So if you guys have crystals that needs things for mental clarity, like selenite, orange calcite is amazing for that too. Okay, breath work, right? Breath work is amazing to get your mind on straight and to help with that anxiety too. Okay, so if you need a little exercise with that, let me know and I can show you a little exercise that we can do. Okay, so it's okay to be lost. It's a way to find ourselves, right? Our path. If you ever have gone for a drive in the country and to a place that you've never been to, it's like, oh, I'm just going to go for a drive. I don't have any destination in plan, right? And you kind of get off on the side roads and you're doing some sightseeing and you're talking to people and you're getting experiences, right? So instead of getting on the highway and going straight across, take these little side roads and find yourself. Okay? Yeah. Because you never know what you're going to find or who you're going to be. Because I never thought in a million years that I'd be where I am right now. And this is just the beginning. I have so much more that I want to do and where I want to go. Okay. So let me know if this helps. All right. And if you're lost, if you're burned out, you just don't know how to get to where you need to be, give me a call. Okay. And we can get you on the right track. Okay. So have a great night. And I'll see you guys all next week.